members of CID Management Board, colleagues from so many media houses here present this morning, and my team from Public Affairs, both national and CID. Good morning once again. Good morning once again. I welcome you especially to this morning's press briefing. When Kofi alerted me that we were ready, I decided to come here myself and see if indeed we were ready. I got here and I said we are over ready because I looked at the number of cameras here, the number of newspapers that are also here. Having said that, I want to especially welcome all of you on behalf of the Inspector General of Police and of course on behalf of the host, the Director General of CID, this morning to the press briefing, which will be carried live on our Facebook page, the Ghana Police Service. That's the ID, and of course, I'm alerted that it will be carried live on City FM and City TV, and of course on Joy FM and Joy TV, and Untumi Radio. I want to use the opportunity to introduce to you once again and formally some members of the CID Management Board. This morning, we have with us the Chairman for the Board, Director General, CID, Commissioner of Police, Mr. Isaac Ken Yeboah. I also want to introduce to you the Director, Administration, CID, Deputy Commissioner of Police, Mr. Isaac Quest. I also want to introduce to you the Director, Interpol, Assistant Commissioner of Police, Mr. Frederick AJ. I'm also seeing Deputy Director Operations for CID, Chief Superintendent of Police, Mr. Solomon Ayawin. I'm also seeing my very own Director Anti-Armed Robbery, Chief Superintendent of Police, Mr. Felix Anidobu. His deputy is supposed to be around, but I think I'm not seeing him. And I'm seeing the staff officer for CID and to the Director General of CID in the person of GSP, Reverend Emilia Quest, Mrs. Thank you very much. My name is GSP Juliana Obeng, Director of Public Affairs, CID. At this moment, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you will help me welcome to start the briefing, Director General of CID. Today we are touching on very critical issues and we are hoping that the many of you that are gathered here would have the many coverage as we are expecting. Now we are touching on robberies across the country and we are giving you updates. We're also going to look at the Infansoman murder. I'm sure most of you have forgotten about it. We are talking about that today. We are going to touch base with you on the incident at Kwabenya, and we are doing something close to the bullion van issue and some other critical issues that are of interest to you and of course of interest to us. And so at this moment, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, help me welcome Director General of CID, Commissioner of Police, Isaac Ken Yeboah.
Thank you, DJ. In an account, our elders say that when a lady goes to the bathroom and she's not, it keeps long and it's not coming, then it means that she's preparing herself. It's been a long time since we interacted. It means that we were preparing to come out with certain information. So you bear with us if for some time now you've not heard from us. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, good morning, and I welcome you to the CID headquarters for this press briefing. I want to express my profound appreciation to you all for your cooperation over this year. I deem it an obligation to brief you on some of the criminal cases we have successfully investigated in recent times. I have decided to meet you this morning because we are interdependent when it comes to crime fighting. You, the media men and women, need the police to provide them with information about crime and crime patterns that are of interest to readers, listeners, and viewers. The police also need the media to tell our success stories, inform the public about the major crimes and crime patterns, to expose wanted persons, and to seek witnesses from the community. Crime fighting is a shared responsibility, and we need each other to succeed. It is unfortunate that some criminal gangs have acted bravely in broad daylight to perpetrate their nefarious activities some few days ago, leading to the death of one of our own. The police intelligence network have devised modernized way to make their nefarious activities unpleasant. We shall surely arrest them all. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to brief you on the following cases. One, I want to give you an update on the robbery and murder of the late Honorable Kwansa Hayford, the former MP for Mfantsipim. It will be recalled that on 8th of October 2020, at about 11 p.m., armed robbers attacked, robbed and killed the then sitting MP, Member of Parliament for Mfantsipim East, the late Honorable Kwansa Hayford. Investigation was taken over by the CID headquarters, and some suspects were initially arrested, while his mobile phone was retrieved in Kumasi. Whilst investigation was ongoing, some armed robbers, numbering about 6, attacked vehicles on the Jacobo Obuasi Highway on the 11th of May 2021 at about 2 a.m. The patrol team encountered them, and in the ensuing shootout, one of the armed robbers, later identified as Muhammad, was killed and 3 others arrested. Those arrested were Umar Sando, Jibo Ali, Sando Ali. They are all of Fulani extraction. During investigation, they admitted having taken part in the attack and murder of the late Honorable Kwansa Hayford on the 8th of October 2020 with the deceased, that is the one who was shot during the shootout with the police, as their leader. They were charged with the robbery based on the fact of the May 11, 2021 incident. That is the robbery, the highway robbery that took place on the Jacobo Obuasi Road. And on 18th of June this year, after the trial, they were convicted and sentenced to 20 years imprisonment each. All the convicts are to be arraigned before court in respect of the robbery and murder of the late Honorable Kwansa Hayford. It means that we are now going to charge them and try them for the murder of the Honorable Kwansa Hayford. So they are already serving 20 years imprisonment. So out of the 6, we've been able to arrest 4. Now let me move on to a very interesting case. We have arrested suspect Joseph Koku Abrefa Ampa, alias Buzia, alias Nana, alias Dada, alias Doctor. On the 24th of June 2021, suspect Joseph Kweku Abrefa Ampa, 47 years, from Nsoko and founder of Tropical Heritage, an NGO, was arrested at Sapeman, Accra. He had been on the police wanted list since 2019 for his involvement in a number of robberies within Accra, Kumasi, and in parts of Eastern region, especially around mining sites in Kiddy. In Kiddy, he took part in 3 different robberies. On 27th March, 19th May 2021, and then on the 26th of May 2021, where they took bars of gold and unspecified amount of money, and in the process shot the victim many times and took away his vehicle, which was later abandoned at Akoko Junction on the Busu Apega Road. He is alleged to have established 5 robbery gangs, different ones, 5, and has provided them with arms and ammunition to attack, rob, and share the booty. He and his gang have attacked and robbed victims at gunpoint, and in some instances have killed their victims. They have also snatched vehicles from their victims. Apart from the numerous robberies he had led or taken part in, his last include one of the 7th June 2021, where he and his gang attacked Bashiru Abdullah and robbed him of 550,000 Ghana cedis near the Novotel in Accra. On 15th of June this year, suspect and his gang attacked and robbed the owner of unregistered Nissan Navara pickup at gunpoint under the pretext of buying the vehicle. The vehicle has been retrieved. He was also involved in the attack in Bullion Van on Spinters Road recently. Remember, Bullion Van was attacked at the Spinters Road. Yeah, he's a member of it. I will give you details of some of the robberies he and his gangs were involved in. In another development, Rashid Seidu, a motorbike repairer, age 25, from Boko, a resident of Russia in Accra, has been arrested with 2 foreign pistols and some AK live ammunition through police intelligence. He belongs to Nana Abrefa's gang of armed robbers who recently attacked victims at Chedi and took away vehicles, attacked and murdered mobile phone vendors, mobile money vendors in Kumasi, and snatched another vehicle in Accra. He has admitted his involvement in series of robberies with his gang. I want to list some of the robberies that they have perpetrated. On the 28th of May 2019, the gang attacked Haruna Jamfara and robbed him of 360,000 Ghana cedis at Dawenya and killed the victim. On 28th of October, on 7th of October 2019, the gang attacked Abel Kadril Muhammad and robbed him of unspecified amount and shot the victim 6 times in the stomach at Kaukudi. On 16th October 2019, the gang attacked Omar Zibo and robbed him of 80,000 Ghana cedis, 17,000 CFA at Tema Community 1. On 27th March 2021, at 9 p.m., suspect Nana Abrefa, Hakim, Aziz, Ben, Vincent, Rashid, Seidu attacked and robbed Momo vendor by name Richard Seong at gunpoint. They robbed him of 10,000 Ghana cedis and his unregistered Navara pickup. On 23rd of March 2021, Collins Ayesu Akosa, sorry, this one is a different one. That's all. So Nana Abrefa and his gang, 4 different groups, have been attacking victims in Accra, Kumasi, part of Eastern region. And then he posed, he is not, but he posed as a staff of the national security. But he has admitted that he is not a staff of national security. He has their sticker pasted on his car windscreen to deceive security personnel and for people, some of his victims, to know that he is a staff. We have retrieved a lot of weapons from him. We'll give you the opportunity after the press briefing to go and have a look at some of the weapons that we have retrieved from them. Another incident is that on the 23rd of March 2021, 4 armed robbers, namely Collins Ayensu Akosan, alias Cash Money, Yabadu alias Sight, John Afiamepo alias Apietus, and Ejayao alias Churchill attacked complainant Oscar Moore in his residence at gunpoint at Pokwase, CPA, and robbed him of 90,000 US dollars, 20,000 British pounds, 5,000 euros, 3 customized gold bars, customized set of jewelries, and an unspecified amount of cedis. On 1st of June 2021, Collins Ayesu Akosa alias Cash Money was arrested with the complainant's customized 250-gram gold when he was offering same for sale to a gold merchant at Adabraka near the Central Mosque. He mentioned the 3 suspects above as his accomplices. They were all tracked and arrested from their various hideouts. Yabadu alias Sight was arrested on 2nd of June at Domi Railway Crossing behind Army Scientific Herbal Hospital, whilst John Amefiapo alias Apietus was traced and arrested in Ho in the Volta region on the 9th of June 2021. Suspect Ejayao alias Churchill is however on the run, but he can run, but he cannot hide. Upon interrogation, the 2 suspects admitted the offense and they were put before court on charges of conspiracy to commit crime, robbery, and robbery. They all pleaded guilty to the charges, and on 28th June, they were convicted to 20 years imprisonment each. Efforts are underway to get suspect Ejayao Churchill arrested. We have also arrested suspect Musa Kamara, a Guinean, on the 25th of June at Kiddy. He was a member of the gang recruited for robberies by Joseph Kweku Abrefa, Elias Buzia, Elias Dada, Elias Nana, Elias Doctor. He is also involved in 4 robberies that took place in and around Kiddy and the mining areas. Yesterday, as part of the security measures adopted by the police administration under the new anti-armed robbery task force strategy to curb robberies and other violent crimes in the country, intelligence from a source had indicated that some armed robbers were in possession of arms and ammunition and had concealed them at Intuaso, a town in Eastern region. In response to the intelligence gathered, the team from the National Operations Directorate, Surveillance Unit and other combat patrol teams were dispatched to the location to retrieve the said weapons. On reaching the location, the suspected robbers took to their heels on seeing the police. The team began a search at the premises, and in the process, one of the suspected armed robbers, yet to be identified, who was hiding in the nearby room, opened fire on the police and hit the hand of one of our officers, injuring his 2 fingers in the process. The police officer is on admission at the police hospital at the moment. The police also responded accordingly and gunned down the suspect robber while the other escaped arrest. We were, however, able to arrest one again. And then when the team were moving from the place to headquarters, one of the suspects attempted to snatch the weapon on one of the policemen, and then he was also gunned down. So 2 persons were gunned down yesterday, and these are the items that were retrieved from them. 1 AK-47 assault rifle, 1 M16 rifle, 1 pump action gun, 1 shotgun, a pistol locally manufactured, 2,882 rounds of AK-47 ammunition, 2,882 rounds of AK 7.62 ammunition, 840 rounds of M16 ammunition, 23 BB cartridges, 1 7.62 cartridge, 7 machetes, clubs, sword, knives, crowbar, military camouflage uniform, and then traditional warrior smoke. If you see it, you think that I don't know whether it is bulletproof or what, and some other items. So, together with the all the our collaborators, people are giving information, and we are proud of every Ghanaian who is giving us information. Without information, we wouldn't have gotten to arrest these people. And if you look at the quantity of ammunition, 2,882, if they decide to rob or cause problem, it will be very difficult to face them. So we appeal to individuals to assist us with information. In respect of the robbery cases which happened or occurred at Adedempo, Honey Circle, just opposite the fire service, Aburi, and some other places, some people have been declared wanted by the police. We strongly believe that they are members of the gang recruited by Abrefa and his boys. I'll give you their names very soon. We have another one whilst I wait for the list. I want also to give you update on the Kaswa juvenile. I think you were all interested in knowing the outcome. The suspects have been charged, and then the docket forwarded to AG's office for the preparation of bill of indictment. The fetish priestess involved is still under investigation. We've been asked to do further investigation. In respect of suspect Prince Charles Dedo, I'm sure you heard the name, the one who was alleged to have killed the wife at East Legon. The docket is still with the Attorney General. Now, the following people have been declared wanted by the police. Some of them will have their pictures and it will be given to you by my PR. Aaron, you see, sometimes we are unable to get their full names. They use aliases because in the group, they always, in a criminal gang, they don't use their real names. Aaron, he was involved in the attack on Honorable Kandapa some time ago. Rafiu, he's a Nigerian. Another guy called Pump Action, also a Nigerian. Another one, Advert. Obina, a Nigerian. Sunday Chubazo, a Nigerian. Sule, Jordan, Bebe, Isa Salami, Ahmed Ali, Christian. This guy is Christian. He reccees the bank. When people go to the bank, he will recce and provide information to some of the suspects we have arrested and others at large for them to attack them. If you remember at the intersection around the National Theatre, some people were attacked around Kaokudi. They attacked some people and took their monies. So he is the informant. Hakim, a very notorious armed robber. You get his picture. They can all run, but they can't hide. Aziz, his nickname is Baluz. When the Muslim or the Hausa say Balus, it means that you have to succeed. Balus. Then we have another one called BP. He's also a Nigerian. Vincent, also a Nigerian. Then we have Audu, he's at Ashaman. Alassan, also at Ashaman. Sagio Sambre at Asutari Junction. Jaco Elias Dogo, he's also at Afiena. And then there is another Hakim. So there are two Hakims. We provide you with some of their pictures so that you help us get them. Now I want to give you some updates on some shooting incidents during the 2020 election. Most of the cases are pending before court, and then others, the dockets are with Attorney General for advice. The Odododiodio, that is what I'm told is Odododiodo constituency election, where some MPP supporters who thought the result was going in their favor, in the favor of their parliamentary candidate, started jubilating, and some supporters were jubilating, boarded vehicle and drove in the streets towards the direction of Modak Hotel. Some people were not happy and they fired weapons from a distance into the crowd, and in the process, 2 persons were killed. A Barretti pistol with 13 rounds of ammunition, Smith & Wesson pistol with 9 rounds of ammunition, 80 rounds of ammunition, 1 pump action gun, 20 rounds of BB live cartridges, 6 pepper spray, 1 flashlight, 1 machete, and 4 jackknives were all retrieved from the scene. 5 suspects are currently in court, standing trial in court. And those who were also involved in the vandalizing of the vehicle, Toyota Tundra vehicle with registration number GS 7610-12 belonging to the MPP are also facing trial. The shooting incident at the entrance of Odoko Police Church during the election. A shooting incident occurred at the entrance of Odoko Police Church, which is also a coalition center of the Ablekuma Central constituency. Enquiries from the police around indicated that the Electoral Commission officials sent a pink sheet outside after entering the coalition center. The mob, on seeing him with the pink sheet, started beating him, and the security personnel who were present rescued the victim and decided to drive away the mob from the coalition center. The mob became incensed and started throwing stones at everyone at the center, including the security personnel. The security confronted them and started giving warning shots. Later, it was found out that 2 of the people had been hit by the stray bullets and got injured. The victim, Ibrahim Abbas, died on the 16th of October. In this case, we have not been able to identify the security person who shot and killed that individual, but we are still investigating. The Techiman shooting incident, in that case, 2 people were supporters of the NDC were killed in the process through gunshots. In that case too, we have not been able to identify any person or any security officer who shot, but we are still investigating that case. Shooting incident at Sabalugu. The MP for Sabalugu, Honorable Abdullah Jacob Idris, and the Duko chief, Na Muhammad Ahmed, had been arraigned before court for possessing arms without lawful authority, contrary to Section 1921 of Act 2960. They have been granted court bail, and the case has been adjourned. It was adjourned to 27th June. The case docket 2 is with the Attorney General's office. 2 AK-47 rifles together with 132 rounds of AK ammunition were retrieved from the office and the house of the MP and the party, NDC party office. The weapons were examined at the police laboratory, but it shows, the report indicates that the weapons did not match with the spent ammunition found on the ground. So it couldn't have been fired from that AK-47 rifle. So investigation is ongoing. Shooting incident at Blekuma Central Constituency Coalition Center. I'm sure here some of you will be very, very interested because a journalist by name Pius Asiedu Kwani sustained injury. The case is before court and it has been adjourned to 20th July 2021. There is also an interesting case, a collaboration between the Ghana police, the Interpol session, and then our counterparts in Togo. You remember or recall that a 12-year-old boy was murdered in the Volta region for ritual purposes. Those who were involved fled from Ghana to Togo, and we informed our Togolese counterparts who were able to locate those 2 suspects who fled to Togo and arrested them, and then we went for them. So it shows how we work as a police institution all over the world. So those who are on our wanted list and have fled to Nigeria and others, the Interpol will be chasing them. That is why we always say that they can run, but they cannot hide. We are therefore appealing to the general public to assist us with information. Sometimes what you put on the social media affects investigation. It affects investigation. So we are just appealing to the public, especially the media. If you hear anything, please feel free to come to us and find out, cross-check your facts before you put it on the social media. Sometimes you give them opportunity, that is the criminal's opportunity, to know our strategies and then hide or run away. So this morning I called you here to brief you on happenings. I will also give you opportunity to ask some few questions, and then you go to the other room where we have displayed the weapons that we have so far taken from armed robbers, so that you know that we are not sleeping, we are chasing them. And so if you have anybody or you know anybody who has information, who has weapon, please let us know. Have confidence in the service, because we are here to protect you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Director General CID. Like said in my opening, these are sensitive issues that are of interest not only to us, but of course to you and the Ghanaian public. We touched on the Infansamani murder and the 4 people we have arrested. We have also touched on Joseph Abrefa Ampo in relation to the Chebi arrest. There's some details given to you about Nana Abrefa and his team. The Pokuase robbery, we have also touched on that. We've done some bits of suspect Kamara, who is connected to some robberies also in Chebi. We have done the Eastern Region story in Twasowa. We have one of our officers who is presently on admission at the hospital. And of course, we've touched on Pretoy, update of election 2020 we have also given you. And we have also mentioned a bit of the East Legon issue and some wanted persons. All these issues very sensitive, not only to us, but also to the Ghanaian public. We are giving you the opportunity this morning to ask us questions strictly related to the issues that we have touched on. I repeat, strictly related to the issues we have touched on, and of course, relevant to it as well. And so when you are called, you give us your name and then the media house you are representing. Thank you very much. I've seen a hand at the back there. Okay, so let me start from my immediate right. Gentlemen, may I please know?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. My name is Kingsley. Join me, please. So you mentioned 282 rounds of ammunition. 2,882. Please, I need to understand. Is it firearms? What was the composition?
Okay. They are AK live ammunition. Okay. That is for the 2,822 live ammunition. Okay. That we use in AK rifle.
So in total, you are able to estimate for us in all how much you are able to actually accumulate from all the investigation.
Accumulate?
Yeah, in terms of how many you are able to gather in terms of...
There are lots. There are lots.
Are you unable to quantify?
Yeah, but there are lots. You cannot quantify. When you go there, that is, these ones were retrieved only yesterday. Only yesterday. Some were retrieved without live ammunition. but the weapons were cheap. Okay.
And please, is there any reason why we are unable to get any information on the current happenings from Nigeria?
Because I think yesterday you heard it. You heard what the police said, so I think I don't have to go into that.
Okay, so for issues of Ejura, it's being handled by Ashanti region. If there's the need for Ashanti to bring it to the national headquarters for continuation, please we'll call you back and give you any updates. Thank you. So we are not doing Ejura this morning. If there's anything, you can speak to my colleague in Ashanti region. Thank you.
Okay, I can speak from here.
You can speak from
My name is Rashid from Rainbow Radio.
Rashid,
Yes,
Rainbow Radio.
Currently, the honorable member for Esin Central, Kennedy Ejapon, made some wild allegation that the CID is aware of the suspect who allegedly murdered the late journalist who was working with Anas, and he is quite unfortunate that you know the name of the individual and you've kept it, and people keep pointing fingers at him. Would you care to respond to that, please?
For now, to the best of my knowledge, I don't have that information, and so I will want us to defer that one. Okay.
Can we have the next question, please? Okay, Anas.
Thank you. My name is Anas Seyni, CTFM, CTTV. On the brilliant van robbery at Jamestown and other related issues, as well as the robbery at Hanley Chapel, you've given us a wanted list of about 20 people. Have you been able to make any arrest in connection with that? Because there were earlier reports that some people have been arrested. I heard names of those suspects, but there were no connection to that robbery. Can you explain that to us? Thank you.
Thank you. Initially, we arrested some people based on suspicion and some information that were provided, but we realized that they were not even at the scene on that day, and so we could not link them to the crime.
Emilia.
In connection with the two persons who were arrested in Togo in collaboration with the Interpol. Not told us how far you've gotten with the case. You've arrested them. We don't know if you brought them to Ghana. Have you put them before court? And so how far is the case? Thank you. And if you can give us their names.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, we have brought them to Ghana. They have been arraigned before courts, and the case has been adjourned. You know, murder cases, it's not like prosecution does not take place within few days. It takes time, and so they are before court. I will get the names for you very soon. Okay.
Okay, can I take the gentleman next to Emilia? Your name and the media house you represent.
Hello, yeah, my name is Muntifafa from Capital News Online.
The name again?
Muntifafa.
Muntifafa.
Well, I want to touch on the Tetiman shooting incident. The Tetiman shooting incident.
Yes, please.
During several press conferences held by the NDC, they put out videos of the shooting incident into the public domain. And during your press conference this morning, you said you will not be able to identify those who are involved in the said shooting incident. I just want to find out from you whether you are aware of that video that is in circulation, that indicates those individuals who are shooting, the defenseless and the innocent individuals who were shot dead on that occasion. Then I want to touch also on the number of deadly weapons that are in the hands of the armed robbers. what mechanisms or processes that we are going to put in place to work with other security agencies so that those weapons can be retrieved. We want to, how did these weapons get into the country? Thank you.
Thank you very much. In respect of the video, you see, these days people put certain videos on social media, sometimes which are even not related or did not happen in Ghana. Do you understand? I am not saying that in that particular case. And so we have a lot of videos which we have gone through. But I would appreciate it if you also give me yours so that we compare. Do you understand? To find out whether, because it's information. And so if you give it to us, we'll be able to look at it. And then, you see, sometimes when you shoot from far, it's difficult to capture the images well. Do you understand? So please, and then there were a lot of people there with weapons and other things. We are still investigating because we have to make sure that the shooting was done by A. Do you understand? So please, if you have anything, just, my doors are open, just call and then let's also look at yours. Maybe we have it, maybe we don't have it. Do you understand? And then we look at it. And then, in respect of the weapons, deadly weapons in the hands of armed robbers, it's serious. You see, like AK-47 rifles are strictly for security personnel. So if you find AK-47 with any individual who is not a member of the security agency, then it means that he is in possession of that weapon illegal. And so you have to provide information to us. And I think the IGP has introduced a reward system where anybody who will provide information for us to retrieve AK-47 will be given 5,000 Ghana cedis. There is also another option, and I think some 2-3 years ago it was instituted by the Minister for Interior, where amnesty was granted for people in possession of illegal weapons to return them to the service. And for instance, if you were in possession of a pistol or something, you return it and then it will be registered for you. I think the minister will very soon come out with something so that maybe we grant amnesty for people to bring their weapons for registration. Because if you are in possession of it and it has not been licensed, then it is illegal. So we are appealing to people like you to provide information for us to be able to retrieve weapons. And I am also using this opportunity to tell people with weapons which have not been licensed to return them to the police immediately. Because if you are found out, you will be charged according to the laws of the country. Thank you.
I think that it will be fair I go to the back of the right. My other mic.
Can I start?
Yes, please go ahead.
I'm Fred Delanyo Megashi with GH1 Television. I'm very curious about the police emergency system because in the throes of the robberies, people have asked how has the police been very swift in terms of emergency response of the police. There are a lot of people who do not even know the police emergency line, and even if they know and they call, the swiftness is not as we expect. will the police be engaging on or will be embarking on sensitization for the public so that in the spate of the robberies we are experiencing, if anything like that rears its head, the public is assured that when they call on the police, there's that swiftness they're going to get? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I must say that the PRO will give you the police emergency numbers. But you know one thing, sometimes you call the emergency room, and because of the number of calls log, people call, and then you have about 100 people on the queue. And it's very difficult because it is automatic. The system will decide where to transfer the calls to. Maybe you have about 6 or 7 lines. One person's line will be very busy. Others will not be even going through at all. You understand? And so they are rectifying it. It's not from the emergency room. It's not from the emergency room. And then some also abuse it. They call and then they start insulting you. People call and then they will start insulting you. The police, foolish people. What are you doing here? I mean, you see, we as Ghanaians should learn to respect the police. We are here to protect you. You call, instead of giving the right information, then you start insulting. Sometimes people also intentionally call to divert attention. Something is going, maybe robbery is going on at, let's say, Nima. Somebody calls, oh, the people are at La. And then the police will go there. Meanwhile, the people are somewhere. So please, let us respect the system that we have put in place to ensure that we get the necessary protection. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so my name is Senano with Star FM. As regards the suspects that are on the wanted list, some have been identified as Nigerians. So I'd like to find out if the rest are Ghanaians or their nationalities have not yet been identified. And then secondly, you mentioned Abrifa as the owner of an NGO. Have you been able to ascertain if he is using the NGO as a cover for his activities? Thank you.
Yeah, yes, those I did not mention as Nigerians, they are Ghanaians. Yes. And then in respect of Abrifa, we are working on it, whether to find out whether he is using the NGO as a cover-up or not. Because according to the information that we have gathered so far, he said he was using the NGO to assist the Galamsees. Do you understand? But as to whether he was really using it to assist, and what he meant by the assistance is also another thing. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. My name is Abubakar Sapon. I work for Tinka TV. I would like to go back to the Adidempo bullion van robbery. When it came up, the IGP told us that banks have been given a deadline up to end of June to buy their own armored bullion vans. I would like to know the update to that. June is ending today. After today, what are we going to see? Thank you very much.
Okay, I will try as much as possible to see whether I can keep it. In fact, we've met the governor and his team recently, and the issue was that the timing was too close to the extent that they will not be able to import armored vehicles within these 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Meanwhile, IGP had already written to them as far back as last year. But they were pleading for time to enable them import. Meanwhile, they have some armored vehicles from the Bank of Ghana, which they are going to use it in a pool form to help the banks. And then we have also beefed up security, that this time not one person will be in a bullion van. Okay, so something is being done, but I'm sure on the issue of the deadline, maybe they will not be able to meet it, but something is being done by the banks.
Good morning, sir. My name is Isaac Otton. I work for Internet TV. Let's just say my three people. Chief, Okasano, Honorable Eco Cancer, late. What can you say? Out of 6, much deeper for 2 Mundabena model number. Second, Kamia said, amount for a yes, look Accra, and nobody armed robbery cases, and you have to say, oh, Diana Esia, as a Kamia is of late, yet incidents at this, as a Ghana for young show, near assurance, and now police here in Modem Marseille, Ghana for down, Mockman to refer issues.
May I see the break? Near Mecani said, oh, a Rishimuno, and yet Dakro, and year in Rishimuno. Who said Honorable once a day is October last year. Who said I think in the African yet me and yet any achieve. Until you beside me said the Benny Benjamin Nuna Kana ya somewhere heading Kakra. Now the Ben also be boy na yachi that for. And he said and yet police for Kwa Sudie, a ye nina ya Sudie, said ye beboa, na Bonia Posum, yet me a dignity, also Bomodiana boy, Yancy Nipan Yuno, and a bay of Ghana food in our day. By Yugusua, near too soon, you know, what can I say? Your best say, a month for any DDA. Oh, police, so. Na ya na eyemi ya bebre se empempi no se BBC a na ya bo police force bo saa esoso sebi akrofo yi eni nipa bonifo yi ye no na tifie obia nyim baako ana mienu bi se ha no ti esoso ye mfa saa information no emre police for so ba eye nyina ya so die ba ne meka ne se munya gidie we mu ye be ko so ani achi akonfo no ena won susu a omo da ye omo adwuma se omo be ye no omo nka ho se ye wo ho ye be chi wo omo ntimi enko tebe bia na moso mo aye eto de bia ya na mosusu munya information pe na mo de amaye ogu o ha ne djuma odi anu no onya information pet no de ama police no abediska bibre ogu ne djuma o ya anu no ntimi so wo betimi aye ho informant ama na waba o ma information kakra wo benyiska na o de adi kakra fine let's do that one.
I think we'll take the last 1, 2, 3, 4 questions, and then we'll call it a day. All right, can I hear from the man in the green shirt? Ladies first, sorry. Let me hear from you.
Thank you. My name is Agnes, I report for Chronicle newspaper. I would like to find out...
Chronicle.
Yes, please. Yeah. I'd like to find out what measures you are putting in place to ensure that a lot of people get their guns registered. Because I'm sure people would really want to license it, but maybe they have the notions that if they come, it may be taken away from them. So what measures are you putting in place to ensure that they get most of them get their guns licensed? Thank you.
I think doors are open. If you bring your weapon, provided you acquired it through the legal way, you don't have a problem. You come, the office is there, they will register it for you. Okay? Nobody should entertain any fear. You bring the weapon and let's see if you acquire it legally. You don't have any problem at all.
I can speak without a microphone.
Okay.
But Mami Katri, Mr. From Joshua Watten from Jopa TV. Jopa TV.
Jopa. Okay.
Pacho, Miti will be one more said, police for one more. Sir, informants, Eddie, information mark. Yeah, no more for two, or more for taking for more information, or more tea. Yeah, now more tea, or more two. How secure are we? I got me out is a protection. That's it. ABR, the BBC now, Ghana for any information, Emma police for now. Almost safe, sir. Almost disseminating information, Emma robbers now. Maybe I won't be more for attacking one.
But that's a big deal. I think we are only 2+1. Who said Ghana for me? Ye kasa. Who said Ghana for Kasapa? Ye kasa. Inti ebia wo wabema information. Na wo kuro ya wasan akọ kire asumasi say oh sa ko de jai sa crash no me show ni dia na me kọ kire makọ kire police. Wo wabe ka kire me wo ni papre akọ kire asumasi. Inti sa asumasi no wo ni nipa a ono soso ebe kọ kire wo. Na fe ye de subo no abebo police fo. If the edumani ye wantitie a ensese uyi obi ema obi a oboa wo no uyi ni ma ochina obede no nya information on the bebrel nti mise wa sa adwen na eda nipa bebre ti mu no enye nokre se ye nokre so kra mpo a ebia efie bia nipa bonifo wo so nti ebia na ma akoma bi enesa but ubia soso a enya no sa ayibia no ye de ne fa emra kwanso e wo ye police ye mra no mu nti nyagidie e wo yimu se oka asebi kire yen a e kwa bonti hu se me ka kire krati se ebi mu nye ska film ebi nye ska obu ha ni ban bebre wo ha ejuma odia no wo ma me kire ono kwa oye obre police informant o hia police need to address was me police informant. I didn't think say wo yi wo adi e kire obi wo aka kire obi say wo ye informant. Nti obi nam no onu so hu a onu say wo ye police informant. But say wo yi wo adi e kire. Who say see before any other security and you be who sent na ye center de no se me be ya ye betimi no edi infitaho na osusu wa me di ehia nti mesere wa nyagidie e wo yimu why nti da be na mentwe na odi information be
but the last one mu ye identification parade ebi mo so ka say senior ya mo parade am Roberts nipa be pointi wo mo
krati ade a sese ye twam take it from me say ye twam sese ye wo ye baby kama e wo soro ha sis for that ye be wi no me ye sure say na otwi mu akra na be du fiada no na ye wi wo be ba ho na wa be hwe senia etie the latest in town sese we be armed robbers and I see obia identification interrogation ya no so kama ebeboa nti sade na ye do mu gina ekwan ho ni obi atwam anu hu mu no atwam eno no ukọ a onipa ko na o identify onu kra ohun ba wo de obehu no ohun nemu onu be bisa question say bia point say number 1 no obetimi ebisa question obeti nti ache kra bi abe ifiju ade ko de me sure say na bibia e kama.
My name I'd like to find out the wanted persons have any warrant secured for their arrest.
Yes, please. The most important thing is that we have gotten a warrant for them. Okay? Thank you.
My name is Sabina Nyakon from Class FM Accra FM. Please, my question is, at what point do the police call for reinforcement in the course of a demonstration? And calling for reinforcement, are the military people we see at such incidences military police, or are they, the normal military personnel below?
Abranya kwa anazo de agusia. Abena. Se anumesi biaso. Na to tire bona. No so pebebia. In reinforcement, ebia, you go to a place, you are under attack, or you look at the numerical strength of the security there as against the perpetrators or the mob or whatever. You realize that, oh, if I don't call for reinforcement and my life will be in danger, or I will not be able to protect or secure the place, you call for reinforcement. So it depends on the situation on the ground. Do you understand? That you call for reinforcement. As to whether they are soldiers or they are so and so or police, it's irrelevant. It depends on where you are at the time. Do you understand? So if soldiers are maybe at 700 miles away and there are policemen around 2 kilometers away, you will definitely call for reinforcement, those very close to you. If the police are also very far and the soldiers are very close to you, you will definitely call for people who are very close to you to be able to safeguard the situation. Thank you.
Please, is it the overwhelming number of the crowd, or it depends on?
I think what I said, you should be able to deduce that maybe the situation on the ground, whether numbers or people are, even if it is one person and then he has a gun with him, your life too is very, very important to Mother Ghana. Okay? Thank you, Abraham.
The last question.
Please, my name is Agnes Otin, and I write to speak the local dialect. I'm a patch on the same send me a shot. You said 2,882 nations, AK-47, and I see in your few. Why, my son, yes, she said, and Kayano, and I said, a bit near by because more now, only 20 Akodiano. And then I remember one was to be decided to run and to me sending business. I quite mentioned the first what I said. Start a pudding, a bean and sounds and combo. Now, Madame, you should be said. I post the phone now, won't go home to me. Won't you know what you just count? I would see ya, Star pudding the diplomat. Pacho, it's in your work. I won't draw soon. I quite many a fast ABC, start the Puna and send a bear. I put in a common son. They would know everything you see.
On say obi a obedi boni bia no ono na dwen mu no obeboaboa ne ho empempi mi ana ebi mu mpe ochi oma omo mpe so mbe kasa ombe kire okwan a omo fa asunya sa akode no efi nti ya na etode bia ya na edin but metimi so aka say ya na mpempi no efifi omanya etwa ye ho ehia no na omode ewura mu ba efi say ye borders no yes so nyina no nse ye nyi ban emfa ho nti obi betimi di esie aba na wokọ a obi hu se ne etie aboba no ɔde bi a bɛyɛ 30 ana 40 koraa hyɛ ne bag mu no ɔde kɔ a ɛyɛ den ɛsiane sɛ borders no yɛ open a obiara wokɔ esim mantam ni voter no mo ne ade na wobɛhu sɛ obu ɔkora de bia ɔkorɔ so border ne bɛyɛ 100 times ɛbi sɛ abusuafoɔ no bi wɔ ha ɛna abusuafoɔ no bi wɔ ha wokɔ bɔle area hɔ na ebinom kɔ fom ɛwɔ Côte d'Ivoire na ebinom nso so efie wɔ ha nti sɛ ɔde sie a wobɛyɛ den wɔ ho nti ne nyinaa ɛyɛ adeɛ a ɛsɛ sɛ yɛn ɔman no yɛyɛ yɛn ho ɔman bata na yɛtumi ɛbɔ yɛn man no ho ɛban so ate ase wone obi ti fie wonim adwuma a ɔyɛ ɔkɔ anadwo no ɔkɔhyɛ mu a anɔpa wobɛba no a wahu no ɛsɛ sɛ wobisa na krakye wei adwuma bɛn ɛna ɔyɛ ɛna meka krakye na ɛma na ɛmo dɛ ɛma no so bi ka ho bebree woso so wahu anaaso sɛ bipo adamfoɔ bi anaa wɔ kunu bi na wonim adwuma a ɔyɛ ɛso da biara na ɔde currency aba fie sɛn na wadwene yɛ ɔde wohu so ɔyɛ adwuma ɛso da biara ɔde sika ba wobɛhu no akɔtɔ kawe wobɛhu no akɔyɛ wei question bɛn na wabisa hu sɛ aburokyire no obi wɔ ha a obɛtumi akɔyi ne kunu anaa ne busuani bi ama Ghana ha no ɔnsa ɛhyɛ gye mu koraa no na ɔde ɛyi ɔpɛ kwan a ɔbɛyi ne nsa no afi mu nti mɛsrɛ sɛ yɛnyaa na nsɛm tu kwan kɔ ɔman bi so hotel no a wɔkɔ da no forms a wɔbɛfeere no yɛde ba Ghana ha nipa bebree yɛnya yɛn kasa yɛbɛkasa tia hwɛ sɛ yɛte kaa mu na kaa no ɛkɔ baabi na police ni astɔpo kaa no na ɔsɛkyi yɛnya yɛte sika no mu ɛna police fo ekura na mo hadwen ɛna mo ma yɛ kwan me yɛnkɔ yɛ pɛntɛm akɔ yɛ sisi nti na adwuma na police ni no ɛsɛ sɛ ɔyɛ no ontimi nyɛ ne yie because ɔyɛ pɛpɛɛpɛ yɛnya yɛbɛdi n'atɛm yakɔ baabi na bibi asi ɛsɛ sɛ yɛboa no ne yɛyi yɛ mobile phones ne yɛtwitwa instead sɛ yɛbɛboa nti ne nyinaa ka ho bi ɛsɛ sɛ yɛ nyinaa yɛyɛ adwene sɛ yɛboa yɛ man yɛanyɛ yɛ adwene saa deɛ a tem biara no aban bɛbɔ ka yɛbɛhwɛ apolisifoɔ asogyafoɔ hwanhwan ɛmmoa yɛ nti momma yɛ nyinaa yɛnka mmom ne yɛnsom yɛ man ne yɛhwɛ sɛ yɛ man no mpuntuo bɛba bye medamasi bebree.
Thank you very much, DG. Of course, thank you to you for the brilliant questions. I want to announce to you the police emergency numbers 191 18555. These two numbers are toll free. 191 18555. You can also get us or send us a WhatsApp on 020 6639 121. 020-6639-121. And then you can call us directly on 0550-323323, 0550-323323, and 027-500-156, 027-500-156. I go back to the story of Petoy, where we did the collaboration with our colleagues in Togo, the Interpol story. The names of the suspects are Huno Kofi Koko, and then Anane Koko. Anane Koko. If you are not too sure about the spelling, you see me after the briefing. Having said that, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Inspector General of Police, of course, on behalf of the host, the Director General CID, we want to appreciate your time and presence with us this morning, a show of interest in communicating to the public what the police has said this morning. We are entreating all of you to be circumspect in your reportage no unnecessary headlines. No unnecessary headlines. Headlines that will give issues which we did not even talk about. Again, we go back to the appeal from the Director General, the appeal to all of us to help the police with information. It is really important at this time. And of course, the confidentiality of informants is seriously guarded at this time. The confidentiality of the informant is seriously guarded at this time. My name once again, DSP Julian Obeng, Director of Public Affairs. We want to say thank you to you all for coming. Do have a great afternoon and a blessed day. Thank you.
Thank you very much.